Every festival has its own unique symbol. Let's take Pesach. You have matzah. You have the 4 cups. Sukkot. You have the sukkah. You have the 4 species, the lulav and the etrog, the willows, the myrtles. When it comes to Rosh Hashanah, you have the sounding of the shofar. On Yom Kippur, you have fasting. On Chanukah, you have the menorah. And of course, the latkes. But what do you have on Shavuot? What is the special mitzvah of Shavuot? And if we look in the Torah, it doesn't seem that there's any mitzvah associated with Shavuot. But if you look closely, you'll see that there is. And it's something that is a bit obscure to most people. The Torah says that on Shavuot, in the temple, they brought mincha chadasha, a new meal offering, a new grain offering. Because Shavuot is the time that traditionally the wheat harvest would be prepared. And the Torah says that they would bake 2 massive loaves of bread, and these would be brought, as it were, as a sacrifice. They weren't put on the altar, because only non-leavened bread could ever be put on the altar, matzah, but they were eaten by the priests. And these were called the shtei halechem, the 2 loaves. These were 2 massive loaves. What did these symbolize? Why is this the unique symbol of Shavuot, the festival on which you received the Torah? And why particularly were they leavened? During the year, all of the sacrifices that came from grain had to be baked into matzah. So why was this baked into leaven, into regular bread? Let's try to understand this by looking at a statement in the Talmud. The Talmud is speaking about the end of the Amidah, the prayer that we say every day. And it says that at the end of the Amidah prayer, you can insert your own supplication to God, your own request. And this is something that's done to this very day. There was a great sage, Rabbi Alexandri, and Rabbi Alexandri used to say at the end of the Amidah, "My Lord Hashem, it is my desire to do your desire. But sometimes the yeast in the dough gets in the way." What is the yeast in the dough? Rashi explains it's the Yetzer Hara. It's the evil inclination. That's what gets in the way. Why is the evil inclination symbolized by yeast? Because it causes the bread to rise. Rising is a sign of being high, arrogant. I feel I'm so special. I can do exactly what I want. I can ignore God and His Torah and His mitzvot. It's what makes us arrogant and what makes us sin. And therefore, when it comes to sacrifices, the Torah says there's no place for chometz, for leaven. All of the sacrifices that come from grain have to be made into matzah. Matzah is lowly. It's an indication that a person is modest and humble and not full of themselves. And when you're modest and you're humble, you're prepared to listen to what other people have to say, of course, including Hashem. However, there's a question. It's true that the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, makes a person sin. But God gave it to us, after all. He gave us that evil inclination. If He gave us that evil inclination, He must have, it's only proper that He gave us an antidote. He gave us a wherewithal, a scheme to deal with the evil inclination. And the Torah says, yes, He did. Barati Yetzer Hara, says the Talmud, in the name of Hashem, I created the evil inclination. Barati Torah Tavlin. And you know what the antidote is? The Torah. The Torah is the antidote. You have that evil inclination. That evil inclination is a drive, and it can drive you to do negative things. But you can harness it to do positive things. And how can you harness it? With the Torah. A person will have this desire and this lust. The Torah will come and say, this is how you control it. This is how you manage it. This is how you improve the situation. The Torah is the antidote to that yeast in the dough. And therefore, it's on Shavuot, particularly, that we can bring loaves that have been baked into regular bread, leavened bread, because we're not worried about the evil inclination as we are the rest of the year. The rest of the year, we're not focused on Torah. But on Shavuot, because it is the festival on which we receive the Torah, we re-receive it upon ourselves every year, and we see, this is how we can, as it were, combat and better the evil inclination. Judaism doesn't require us to get rid of all of our desires and lusts. That would be a negative thing, but to use it for a positive thing. And in fact, our sages have a very beautiful statement. It says, Impaga bachan manuvel zeh. If you're walking along, and this manuvel means a miscreant, this mischievous person. If this mischievous person suddenly comes upon you, meaning the Yetzer Hara, what must you do? Moshreyu lebeit midrash. Drag him with you to the house of learning, and there he'll melt away. Don't destroy him. Say, okay, Mr. Evil Inclination, let's go learn together. And in that way, you'll be able to destroy him. So on Shavuot, we are given this unique opportunity to reconnect to the Torah, to learn the mitzvot of the Torah. And if we do this, we can control even our most basest desires and instincts. I wish you all a Chag Shavuot Sameach.